Hello, hello, hello! Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Siin TV. We're going to be doing endless discussions today. Let me go ahead and get this event started here. I'm going to wait for everybody to hop in before we get started. Who's that? Who's this in the audience? Hello? I'm gonna wait for Wishlock to get in before we get started on the stream, and then I'll turn the standby off. Hey Wish, how's it going?
Going good.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn the standby off.
Okie dokie.
There we are. We're in. Let me turn the music down. I forgot to do that too. That was something I forgot to do.
Tisk tisk.
Turn it down to a comfortable 9.
Yeah, if you have it too loud, I'll be like blasted out of existence.
Right. Oh, for some reason Zaz puppet appeared in the voice chat thing. Oh, it's because he's in
Is
listening.
it because he's in the audience?
Yeah, it's because he's in the audience. His little puppet appeared. Hang on, let me turn it off for you. Well, we'll just leave him in there. He could just be sitting there watching.
He's just a silent observer. Yeah.
Yeah. From Isaac. Good morning.
Always watching.
Oh, hey, Zath. How's it going, buddy?
If my puppet's in there, I suppose I'll take part.
Okay, cool.
It's destiny.
Yeah, we need to get Mace's puppet in here, some other people's puppets in here. Real quick, let me read the chat. From Tab says, Happy Sunday, Mr. Sin and company, sending hugs and love your way. And then from Isaac says, Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning?
Tired?
Tired, huh?
Yeah, that's
I
my
broke
emotion.
my nail.
You broke your nail.
Aw, I'm sorry,
Yep,
Zach.
way too
Was
close
it
to
the
the
pink
skin.
one?
It's gonna
Ugh.
hurt when it grows back.
Oh.
God. I hate when that happens. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, was it your fingernail?
Yeah, my right index.
Oh, oof. Let's hear from Cadman. Says, live in game looks pretty lively. Yes, it does. Yeah. We get a lot of... There was people that were talking to me earlier. Let's hear from Isaac. Getting ready for my trip. Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, as you can see here in game right now, it's very lively. We got a rat that's... Oh, he's walking away. Never
A
mind.
rat, a crow, and a small child.
Let's see here. I'll just be gone until late tomorrow afternoon. Oh, okay. Well, today's
Better
topic...
come back.
Today's
Ooh,
theory
yeah.
really is something that Wish has been talking about, and me and Zath are going to kind of listen to it, and everybody else are, and we're all going to kind of see what ideas come from this theory.
Yeah. So, the running theory is that these deep patch updates are alluding to something much bigger being released. Presumably, at minimum, well, okay, there's a couple of theories here where it could be for main clone, like a big update coming for main clone that might, like, kind of revolutionize it in some form or fashion, where it becomes updated in a way that might attract a new audience, or even get people's attention who are already part of that audience. The other idea is that maybe this is actually... Because here's the interesting thing, is that these deep patches can be applied to literally or all the servers that are being hosted.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely possible that this might relate to a server that is coming out that might run on the same software as EO. It's hard to say, though. Or, I guess the third option is that somehow this relates to something else, like a different project that just... Whatever that project is, current EO is being benefited from it, but it's just like second thought, an afterthought, whereas the newer project is the primary focus. And one of the reasons to think that that may be the case is, of course, we know that Vult-r is the one working on these deep patches, and the question, of course, is what interest is there for him to even be updating the client like this? Is it just... It seems to me that if he is investing his time, energy, and effort into making these new patches when he literally could be doing anything else pertaining to whatever job he might have, it might be a sign of something else. Like, I highly suspect that it, at the core, at the root of it all, it is Vult-r is the reason for whatever big thing might potentially, no guarantee, be on the horizons for Endless Online, or even games inspired by it, or servers.
So you think all these patches are leading up to a bigger project, a bigger game as a whole?
Yeah.
So do you think it's like a new, like, here's the idea. Do you think that maybe it's a possibility that it's a new EO game, a new server, like an official EO game, or just something that's like, I don't know, designed for other servers?
Well, I feel like it's definitely one of several possibilities. I personally don't know for sure what I would put my money on, other than that, acknowledging that Vult-r is spending time and energy and effort into this thing, that means that to me would indicate that he may have something in the works of his own accord that he's working on, and maybe it relates to the servers, or maybe it relates to his own project that is, or that he's helping with, that may be Endless Online related. Now, I will say, of course, we are aware of some projects that are in the works, such as the one led by Noel. We know that several lead game or server developers are in on the project. But there are more than just that. There is as far as I remember, and I forget the details truly, there is some other project that is also a larger project in the works that I don't have any details on, besides knowing that it exists. As to the nature of it, I don't know, other than it's EO related.
Yeah. I don't know. It's I think it would be kind of cool to see an official EO server come back, something that Vault's running. But I don't really know. Real quick here, Matt says, how do we know it's actually Vult-r and not someone pretending to be him? Well, we were trying to cover that on a previous episode, but it got a little too deep. Honestly, there's a 404 Discord that you can go check out. And there's a lot of people there that you can talk to that have spoke to this user that goes by Vult-r. I'm not really sure what to really expect from all these deep patches. I think they're great. They're a great way for convenience and to keep EO to kind of, like, I don't know, give it more of a breath of fresh air. But I would think it would be cool to one day see an official EO server come back in some way. An official EO server. Would it be good? I have no clue. Would it still be what it is today, running the same engine that it's running today? I hope not. I hope maybe it'll get improved. But I don't know. What do you think, Zath?
I simply think that this is just like a gift to the server owners to simply give them the tools to improve their servers. I don't think anything big is necessarily coming in the works. I think Volt realized how big not big, but the fan base that still exists for the community, and he wants to help provide something that's going to help these server owners make their games better. I think it's more of like maybe a hobby or a little passion project on the side on his free time. I don't think there's any big plans, so I guess I'll be the skeptic here in this situation.
Okay. Real quick here, Cadman says, imagine how much they need to moderate an official server. Yeah, that is true. There's no telling what would happen with an official server. Even if it is something big like what Wish thinks, or, you know, and honestly, I hope that it is too, but it would be nice even if it's just Vult saying, hey, the community's still around, they're still alive and active. You know, it's a shame what happened to EO in its heyday back in the past, but this is me kind of giving back to the community, kind of like what you said, Zath. I can see both sides, and I think both sides, you know, whether these patches are just for the community, just to enjoy and enhance the experience, or if, like what Wish says, that something big is going on, we can only hope to see what would happen in the future.
I mean, I'm also hopeful that something big is in the works, but a part of me most of me thinks that it's just giving back, just giving us some better tools for the game.
Yeah. And it may be, I mean, like, honestly, like, it's just really cool to see that Vult's back and doing something. Something's being, you know, worked on here, and it's just kind of fun to... It makes... You could tell that the community's been a little excited lately. And that's always a fun thing to see, is that the community's excited, and, you know, they're... How long has it been now since Vult actually showed up, you know? He's been kind of quiet for a little while.
Yeah. It gives hope. That's what it does.
Yeah, it definitely gives hope. I don't know, like, and it's funny because, like, you know, Wish was talking about Null, and Null said, you know, I remember when we were streaming, and Null said they were working on something that was EO related, and Wish asked if Null had Vult-r's approval, and Null said that they had something better. So it makes me wonder, like, if Wish might be saying, like, what if this project that Null's working on is what's leading up, like these patches are what's leading up to that?
Oh yeah, it definitely could be. Especially since the way that Null answered another question, which was, I'm like, hey, what about copyright? Is that going to be an issue? To which Null says that no, it's not. And the interesting thing about that, and of course I'm working with whatever information I have. If it turns out to not be the case, then please let me know. But I have heard that Vult-r is not interested in any capacity to like selling the copyright or selling the rights. And so the reason why those two things are interesting is if Null has approval from Vult for in that arena, and Vult is known to not be interested in selling the copyrights, then what is going on here? Are those two things related? If they are, it would seem to me that there might be some potential for this project to be a lot bigger. I mean, it's already... What we do know about it is amazing. But I do kind of wonder if this is kind of technically quote-unquote an official thing that Vult is working on.
Yeah. Real quick here, we got a thing from a response from Wills. Says, I believe the potential for the game is huge. Out of all MMOs I've played, this is the most unique. You know, I can't disagree with it. I mean, there's no telling what Null meant by... and Null was very vague about all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so we don't really know what all the details are when it comes to Null and the what Null meant by that. But one thing that is clear is that something is in the making. And I don't know if Vult-r is just, you know, he's just kind of like, I own the rights. I'm going to sit on the sidelines and let these developers do their thing, and I'm just going to provide helpful updates and patches to help out, or I don't know. Like, honestly, I would like to see, in my opinion, I'd like to see an official server, something new,
Same.
with a new engine, new everything. I want to see
Yeah.
something that's more modern. It could still have the same EO look, the same style. I wouldn't mind if some of the graphics were a little bit updated. Some of the battling mechanics were a little updated. There's no need to completely overhaul it on looks. But if you actually made a more modern EO, official EO server with its game engine, and maybe like what Vault's doing is if he still continues to release that source or that the tools needed to help developers create other unique servers along with him, I think Endless Online would have a lot of potential to keep growing in different ways for years to come. Like, imagine a new custom client being made, and Volt had his, his saying or his blessings on it, or he had his hands in the makings of it. And then he's like, okay, this is what's running now. Here you go for all you developers who want to keep making servers. This is the new game engine you guys can run on and mess with. I don't know.
Yeah. Regardless if anything big, quote unquote, is happening in terms of official releases of Vult-r, there is something else at minimum that has been happening that is very exciting to me, and that is that more tools are being released to assist with the development of new servers. So, for example, Jonah's/Sirius's mapper, which is very, very easy to use and to set up entities like the NPC spawning, the treasure chests, the warps. A tool like that matters a lot because there's this possibility that a new audience, mayhaps even, could be attracted solely based on the fact that this is almost this reaches into game developer territory, where the average individual can literally go and download EOServe or EOSource or what have they, the mapper, and very quickly get one of their own servers running. If they have any artistic inclinations, they can very easily they can go and grab like Resource Hacker and patch the files, add their own art, redo their own art. So, and of course, some of these tools have been around for a while. So, but I do think there is this leaning towards newer tools being released that make things easier and easier for people. And I do think that there is something attractive about that to people. The idea that they could be the ones who host their own servers, that is designed in the way that they see fit, whether that is in terms of making something that feels like a continuation of Endless Online, or something that feels brand new altogether, where you have those basic elements of Endless Online, however it's like its own exciting world. There's so many themes worth exploring that have yet to truly be expressed in a number of the servers that I've personally played. Now, I will admit, I have not played all the servers. But I just look at some of these and I'm like, there is so much potential for storytelling and world developing that I haven't quite seen yet. But maybe I just haven't been on enough servers. But so far, they generally tend to maintain that medieval fantasy theme. And they may stray a little bit here and there, depending on certain regions. But I am very curious, like what kind of world people could imagine for their server, because it just seems like there's unexplored potential. Like, for example, like an alien planet or something like that, or maybe it's an underwater world Now I know there's underwater regions in Endless Online, but I mean like in terms of world building that this is a underwater world, maybe the characters are like mermaids or something. I don't know, what have you, fish people. I mean, we do have the fish skins already. We have 2 whole entire fish skins in official Endless Online now. The gray one and then the purple one.
Yeah. I was meaning to
But
ask
yeah.
you guys about that. What do you guys think about the new skin stuff?
I think it's a good idea.
Oh, I love it.
Allows for more customization, more choices. Never a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially the new tail layer.
Yeah, I
That's
like it a lot.
awesome.
I'm really excited for it. And I'm curious about this whole transformation thing that I'm looking at when it comes to like the squirrel and the bird. I don't know what that means yet. Does that mean that there's gonna be like transformation potions that let you just change your skin like it's an auto skin thing?
That's what it looks like to me. Use a potion, it changes your skin until you change it back.
That's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, and as far as I can tell, just from looking at some of the pictures, and I could be wrong, the reason it says like squirrel to bird or whatever it was is because it seems as though that maybe it's programmed in a way where it has to change from one specific skin to another skin. So instead of
Right.
like one potion turning anyone into into giving the new skin, maybe it's species specific or race specific. Like, so if you have to get the potion for your race that changes to that. I think that's what it seems like what's going on, which is interesting, but it's workable. But I love that feature. That's awesome. I was not out of all the features that could have been added to Endless. That is one on top of my like list that I would have imagined even being there. Which I love it though.
Will says there's a gap at the top of the paper doll, so it might be for that. I haven't checked out the paper doll in the new patch yet. Are you talking about like where the in that like where charms go? At the top of the paper doll?
Top left, I think, is what Will's talking about. There is a new slot there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suspect that the transformation potions are unequipable, and here's why. There's certain skins that would not work for to have another skin on top of them. Like some skins have like holes in them. For example, the skeleton skin. And there would be very big layering issues if you if it was like an equipable item. Because like let's say you were like a fish before and then you're trying to go to the skeleton. Well, the skeleton would be on top of the fish one and it like would have transparency issues. I don't know if that's what you meant, but I mean that would be cool if it was equipable, but I think that would work as far as technically speaking. If it was meant to be a layers thing.
Makes me wonder too, like when it comes to like clone and all these other servers, like if there's gonna be ways to compensate for these new skins, or are we just kind of forced to you know, stick with what we have and make a new account if we need to? Like if all these skins are gonna be usable now, can I just have an admin or somebody be like, hey, here's a hashtag skin changer code that you can use, kind of like in like, you know, like BU, there's like, you know, that skin command where you can change your skin. Do you think something like that is something that servers should add in as a way to compensate for players, or do you think that's something that they have their rights to, you know, say no, let's make a new character?
It depends on how accessible the potions are, I guess. If they're not, I mean, I presume that some will be more rarer than others. Like, for example, I wouldn't imagine the devil skin would be easily obtained, but then again, I don't know what they envisioned. It's just that the devil has always been kind of one of those rare items. So it's like, wouldn't it make sense the skin was also rare? But, like, if they were in-game and accessible to you, for example, Even if you had to do like an epic quest, a long quest or something, or a multi-step quest to get them. I feel like that works. It would be cool if admins would be willing to just change our skin as a way to celebrate the new skins coming out. But I guess that's dependent. I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to add as a command or something, but I guess that's dependent on the individual server owner's wishes for how that should be handled, would be my guess.
Sorry, my phone was ringing. What do you think, Zath? Do you think that there's going to be some sort of like a way for players to be able to change their skins in game or on servers, or do you think these potions are going to be the way to change the skins? What do you think?
Well, that's going to be up to the server owner. I don't see Clone implementing that because they don't usually do a whole lot of change, but I think other servers, I know EO Plus has already been talking about adding those into the game. So, I mean, yeah, definitely it's going to happen, but it's up to the server owner if that's going to happen or not, I guess. I mean, it's a feature,
Right.
but not every server's going to have it.
Right. Well, I'm still excited to see these skins. Has anybody heard the new sounds yet for the client that came out, or for the patches?
No.
I haven't heard it either. I know there's a thing talking about new sounds.
I've heard some.
One thing I really like, and I know we're kind of straying off topic here from the original topic of the video here, but I do want to talk about the one of the updates that I really liked was the showing the boss's health bar at the top right in the screen, especially when it comes to like opposing, where he's just too damn big and you can't see what you're doing at all. I love that. I'm
Yeah.
so glad they added that in. That was such a pain in the ass trying to figure out.
If you've noticed, a lot of on these newer servers, a lot of these new custom bosses that they're adding in, they place the HP bar closer to their feet, which is really helpful because some of those bosses are just way too tall. It's like you can't see it unless you're above it shooting a bow, you know.
Right. Yep. Oh, there's some people in game right now being silly. What are they doing? Oh, they're just sitting down doing all kinds of stuff.
Probably playing patty cakes.
Probably. But yeah, real quick, and for everybody who's watching right now in chat, what do you think? Do you think that maybe Vult-r is back and that he's planning to release something big? Do you think that this is just something that Vult-r is giving back to the community as like, hey, thanks for staying around for so long. Here's some qualities of life to give. Let us know what you think. Feel free to send something in the chat and we'll read it, and we'll try to bounce off that. But let me ask you this, Zath. Out of all these patches, if you had, and I want to ask both of you this, and I guess I'll go ahead and ask the audience this too, but I'll ask you first, Zath. If you could have a dream patch that released any kind of qualities of life that you feel would be beneficial in your own opinion, what would it be? Just your own dream quality patch.
I would say adding passive skills, maybe some more, combat skills, like some melee skills like Whirlwind or whatever, and making skill points actually affect your abilities would be great. That would be something I'd really want to see.
Okay. What about you, Wish? What would be your dream release patch?
I think personally, one of the things I feel like main EO or EO clone probably could really use is more narrative as to what exactly this world is, why it's there, where it's going, that kind of feel. I suppose other nice things to have is would be instancing. So, for example, a player could go into a cave, and that cave is like personalized towards them, and
That's
it's
a good
like
idea.
randomized or something.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
I'd love that too.
Yeah, because like right now the way it is, like if you're a developer, you have to like either hire, if you're a server developer, you have to hire some programmer who knows what they're doing to create these custom clients for you, but if we can get like an actual updated client that can be spread out throughout these developers to help out with like what you said with instancing or instance, I can't even say it right now. You know what I'm talking about. Or other stuff like just all kinds of new features that'll help developers create these types of games that we want to do. I think that would be a really great patch or update for everybody as a whole.
Yeah. I think another good one that you've mentioned before is channels. So basically, like, I mean, this is really only necessary if like a lot more people start joining the servers, but basically you can channel hop. So one channel has a certain amount of people, the second channel has a certain amount of people, and then like if you're in a high density area, because you know endless online maps are kind of small, like they're small if you think about thousands of players playing. They're fine the size that they are if we maintain the number that we're at, which is like a bit under 100. But if there's any potential for growth, it is going to be necessary in some capacity to either introduce new individual servers, because some MMOs have like multiple servers, and you create a character for that server, or channel hopping. So it's like all on the same server, but you can switch to different channels. I would prefer the channel thing, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
I would too. Real quick, Cadman says, I think Vult probably had bad feelings over the way EO ended, and that was the time that he passed those may have dissipated, and it could be him having nostalgia for his old hobby project. Could be. I mean, who knows the reason why Vult left and came back. So, I mean, he came back. It was weird how he came back. He was gone for so long, and then he just showed back up.
Yeah.
But regardless, we're glad to have him back. The community definitely missed him for sure. Definitely missed him.
Yeah.
That is something that I would love to see implemented in these games is channels. So, like what Wish said, if you were to hop on a server and it's like, okay, well, server channel A is got like, say, let's just give her a real, say it has like a lot of players. It's just kind of maxed out, and you know that it's not going to be good for a player to get a boss in or whatever. You look over at channel 2 and you're like, oh, it's only got like 30 players on. My chances of getting a boss drop is a lot better over here on channel 2. And I think having multiple channels for servers would be a really great idea. I don't know how that would be implemented, but would be a lot of neat things coming out of something like that. That would make it more convenient for players trying to get drops and trying to level up and grind. From Wills, yeah, we should have instances areas, because if you're trying to training in the hunting house or in the haunted house and clone, it's impossible. Yeah. Like, there has been some events that I've seen that's been doing this that works really well. I know that EO Plus's Halloween event was really good for that type of thing. But the problem is, like, all these developers, they have the code. They have the custom clients, and other developers don't, and it costs money. But I'm not saying that it's like they should feel guilty for having those custom clients. No, all power to them. For total respect for all those developers out there who have those custom clients that are making unique experiences for players. I tip my hat to them. Talented people.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to see the official team be like, hey, here you go. We know it's possible to do in the client. We've seen other clients do it. Here is the one client for all you developers who, want it or need it if you want to actually create content. But, let's see here. Cadman says, RuneScape Worlds worked like what you're describing. It's been a while since I played RuneScape.
Well, that's nice that they got that feature, though.
Yeah. One thing I would also like to see, this is just me personally being picky, I would like to see where I walk around in a map and the MIDI file doesn't just stop randomly or abruptly. I want
Yeah.
to see an actual, like, I want to be in a world where the MIDI actually loops. What can we do to fix that, please? Please fix. I want that
love
so.
the EO music.
I do too.
And
I love the
like
EO.
to keep hearing it, like especially like the ice cave. It just cuts out abruptly. It's like only in that one room.
I wish we also had updated sound ability, like sound features, where we can, instead of just relying on MIDI files and stuff like that, like very limited small files, that we can actually have some sort of capability to put in a little bit more larger files, MP3s or OGs or whatever. Like, say if you want like a NPC to actually have like some sort of vocal dialogue, like, kind of like in Zelda, instead of them actually talking, you hear like a character be like, "Hey," or "Oh," like, like if you interact with an NPC, it has like a villager or something. They have like a little voice that kind of gives them life.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Wills. Reason I say that is because you have different channels, worlds. The towns would be empty, e.g., Avontown Square.
It's hard to say. I mean, it's possible, but I know that on one MMO I played where that also implemented channel. It had a tendency that channel 1 was the favorite channel to be on when you were in town, especially in that specific MMO. If you were trying to open up a stall to sell items,
Right.
oh, that would be that's I never really thought about that, but that's something that'd be awesome to have in a line, is that you could open up like your own personal shop that you are selling items at,
One
or
of them
some
does
sort of
have that.
marketplace. Huh?
One of them does have that.
What does?
I know main
I don't
Clun
remember the name
did
of it.
have...
Sin played it.
I
A little
played
bit,
it.
I thought you did recently.
Ooh.
Renshai played it. Your friend Grits was telling you about it.
Oh,
that marketplace.
What's it called? Endless. I don't remember what it's called at the moment.
I don't need and like remake or something.
Yeah, remake. Yeah, but that's kind of a private server. They don't really. I
No,
can't really.
It's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just using it as an example. Like, there is an EO-like game that does have that feature.
That is really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
I didn't know they had a game like that. Let's hear
It
from
makes selling
Isaac.
items a lot easier.
EOR. Okay, yeah, he says EOR had selling stalls. And EO
Ooh.
remake. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's right. You guys are right.
Give me it.
Yeah. That would be cool if
Don't
that feature was
stall.
in. I would also like to see other types of grinding features in the game, like farming or fishing.
Like mining.
Yeah, mining, or like you said, like having your own shop, whatever, or you're your own blacksmith or something, like something that gives you more of a purpose to live in this world rather than just go out, beat the crap out of monsters and just do a bunch of quests. Like I wanna have other ways to play the game and grind. I wanna be a citizen in this world.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome. And if like there were things like chef profession, a smith profession, you craft your own armors, craft your own foods. That would really complement having a stall, honestly.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that kind of covers what we were talking about, what we want to talk about today. So I want to thank everybody for joining me today on Endless Discussion. Thank you for this topic today, Wish. Thank you, Zath, for joining us. And thank you, everybody, for hopping in the chat and listening to us, and for providing your own opinion. I appreciate you all. We'll see you all next time on Siin TV. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.